Recipe, you're going to need vegetable oil, coconut milk, warm water, salt, cinnamon, whole wheat bread flour, yeast, and sugar. Alright, into a large mixing bowl you're going to add 2 teaspoons of yeast, a small pinch of sugar, and your 1 cup of warm water. And just let this sit for about 5 or 10 minutes until it starts to get foamy. Now in a microwave-safe bowl, add 3.5 tablespoons of sugar, two teaspoons of salt, one cup of coconut milk, and lastly 1/4 cup of vegetable oil. Mix this until your sugar and salt are dissolved and warm this up just slightly in the microwave. Alright, now I'm going to add our milk, oil, sugar, salt mixture into our proof yeast. Now I'm going to add 5 to 5.5 cups of whole wheat flour to our moist mixture until a soft dough just forms. I added about half of the flour, and right now is when I'm going to add some raisins, just however much you like. Alright, I added about 5 cups of flour, and as you can see I got this really moist, sticky, soft dough. What I'm going to do with this now is add it to a floured work surface, like a countertop or a cutting board, and knead it for about 10 minutes until it's no longer sticky and elastic. Alright, once you got your dough onto a well floured work surface, because this dough is really sticky, you're just going to knead it, just fold it onto itself and push, just like that, for about 10 minutes, like I said, until the dough is elasticy and no longer sticky. You may need to add more flour as you go, and it could take more than 10 minutes. Just keep kneading until you get a really elastic and smooth dough. Alright guys, here's our dough. As you can see, it's smooth, no longer sticking to my hand. Be careful how much flour you add as you need it. Only add flour as you need. Getting punny. I'm saying you don't want to over flour it and dry out the dough. You just want to use just enough to stop it from sticking to the counter and your hands as you're kneading. And now I just added the dough to a lightly greased bowl, greased it with some olive oil, and put a little bit of olive oil on top to stop the dough from forming a skin as it rises. Now put the dough into a dark, warm place for about 1.5 hours and let it rise until it's about doubled in size. Alright, my dough's been rising for about 2 hours. Take your dough and put it on one piece of wax or parchment paper and cover it over with another piece of wax or parchment paper. Flatten it out and roll it out with a rolling pin until it's about 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch thick. Alright, here I have my dough rolled out. You may want to grease the wax paper. Mine stuck a little bit. But now what we're going to do is brush this top side of the dough with vegetable oil. A good amount, don't smother it in oil, but definitely enough just to give it a good glaze of vegetable oil. Now what you're going to do is mix 1/4 cup of sugar with half a tablespoon of cinnamon, and you're just going to take that mixture and just sprinkle that onto the open face of the dough that you brushed with vegetable oil. If you really like cinnamon, you can add more cinnamon than that. If you don't like cinnamon as much, you can obviously add less. But give this a very good coating of the cinnamon and sugar. Alright, now that you've coated it with your cinnamon and sugar mixture, you're going to roll this up just like a cinnamon roll. It's going to be a little difficult because, like I said, my dough stuck to my wax paper. But quite literally just roll it up. Alright, I just got done rolling our dough. You want to roll it pretty tight. Don't worry about the ends, just kind of square them off, as you can see. Now what you're going to do, pick it up and put the two ends together like this. One hand holding the bottom ends and one hand holding the loop. Twist it together like you're wringing out a towel. And just give it a few twists. Now place it into your well-greased loaf pan. You don't really have to press it down much, but just get it in the center of the loaf pan. Now put this into your dark warm place for about another hour and a half until it doubles up and fills up the inside of the pan. Alright, I just got done rolling our dough. You want to roll it pretty tight. Don't worry about the ends, just kind of square them off, as you can see. Now what you're going to do, pick it up and put the two ends together like this. One hand holding the bottom ends and one hand holding the loop. Twist it together like you're wringing out a towel. And just give it a few twists. Now place it into your well-greased loaf pan. You don't really have to press it down much, but just get it in the center of the loaf pan. Now put this into your dark warm place for about another hour and a half until it doubles up and fills up the inside of the pan. After you let it rise in the cake pan for about an hour and a half, bake it at 375 for 40 minutes, and then let it cool completely before cutting it.